anything I can do. She came to one of our basketball games. We had a ALS doubleheader game at Point Loma. She was a team captain, was honored before the game, and just has been such an inspiration. So I'd like to take this time, and Dory, if you can make your way up here, please. Chief Dorene Brink.
Good afternoon. If you saw me at a different event, you probably would know that I have ALS, because I look almost normal until I begin to speak, because now I sound like a babbling idiot. Speaking on my behalf, because you can see I can speak very well. It's very difficult. But my son, Cody, came down from UCSB to tell my story on my behalf. My son, Cody.
Hi, my name is Cody Brink. This is my mom. Just a fair warning, this speech is not exactly for the faint of heart, as ALS is a very, very serious disease. So I want to begin by acknowledging the fact that when my mom decided to accept the honor of speaking at this event back in December, she didn't think that she wouldn't be able to speak. She thought that she would be able to speak for herself. My mom was going to let her Zuvo speak on her behalf, but her story deserves to have a voice. And when she asked me if I would speak for her, I said that I would be honored, because she knows that I know exactly how she would say it. So, by a show of hands, how many of you guys know somebody who's been affected by cancer? Now, by a show of hands, how many of you guys have known somebody personally who's been affected or passed away from ALS? As you can see, it's a little bit lesser of a number. That's why they call ALS the orphan disease. Those stricken with it often go unnoticed, and nobody really has to look up ALS unless they're in medical school or unless they know somebody who's personally been affected by the disease. So let me read my mother's story as she would tell it. In December of 2015, I got a Fitbit for Christmas, a gift from my son. You know New Year's resolutions. So in January, I decided that I was going to give up the Mountain Dew that I was drinking every day and start making a proactive effect for my health. And I started recording my steps. And by the end of the year, I had walked approximately 3,200,000 steps, which is about 1,300 miles. Having done that, you would think that I'm in great shape, and certainly I thought I was. I never got sick. I only went to the doctor once a year for checkups. But during the summer, I had noticed that my speech had begun to become a little bit quirky. I went to my primary care doctor with a list of concerns that I had noticed, and beyond my speech, and my britches were very loose. I'd noticed that I had lost weight and that I had inches on my waist with my pants that I had never seen before. I also was having muscle spasms in my abdomen and freaking Charlie horses in my calves. My physician had a reason for everything, and they sent me to stress management. That didn't work. Things progressed. I went back and saw a different doctor and was told we need to do more tests. Eventually, I was sent to ears, nose, and throat, and when they sent me, and then after that, they sent me to a speech therapist. That only took 6 months, and now it's December. At this time, the speech therapist referred me to a neurologist. I remember telling her that I wanted to be as healthy on the outside as healthy on the inside as I felt on the outside. And she looked at me and she said, "I don't think that that's going to happen." Strike one. January 23rd, 2017, I met with the neurologist. He dropped the word bulbar ALS. I'd never heard of that, but he said it. Strike two. They decided to give me an MRI to see what's going on inside my head. They have to eliminate what it's not before they can say what it is. Well, it wasn't a tumor, it wasn't cancer, it wasn't multiple sclerosis. At this point, I would have been okay if he told me I had a mini stroke, but no proof of that. He said, "Let's see you in 6 months." I went back in 3 because I noticed new symptoms. Again, he said, "See you in months." What? Is he just waiting for me to die? Maybe he knows that I have bulbar ALS, and there's nothing that he could do, because now that's all they have to say. However, it was then I decided to go and get a second opinion. I wanted some answers. In July of 2017, I got my answer. My new neurologist ordered an EMG, and the results were abnormal. First test I've ever failed. Strike three. It showed nerve damage in my upper and lower extremities. I had noticed muscular atrophy in my left hands and my arms. Just not my luck. Not only did I get diagnosed with ALS, but I have bulbar ALS, which is a more aggressive form of the disease. It's the one that steals your voice, then takes away your ability to chew, to swallow. Then it takes away your ability to breathe, 2 of the necessities for surviving. The weight in inches on my waist I had lost was due to ALS. I was losing muscle which is heavier than fat, and hence all the weight loss. The muscle spasms were also due to ALS. My muscles were vaporizing. Who would correlate those symptoms with ALS? Athletes experience these issues every day. In October, when I met with the UCSD ALS team, the specialist said I had probably had ALS for about 2 years, which makes the time of the disease affecting in summer of 2015. So what's the plan? What's the prognosis? What's the next step? I got a PICC line for my IV therapy, which has just been replaced by a portacath. It's on my neck. In November, I started the Radicava infusion, a newly approved drug for ALS patients like myself. It's not a cure, it won't stop it, it's just to slow the progression. I'm glad I have the insurance because the cost of the drug is $10,000 a month. Too bad the quality of effectiveness isn't based on the cost. I'd be golden. In October, I weighed 112 pounds, and by February, I was down to 100. I was having difficulty swallowing, and there was a fear of breathing. I had no choice but to get a feeding tube, otherwise I would waste away. I wasn't eating enough to gain weight, and my new goal is to at least maintain my weight. I'd lost 12 pounds, and I'd literally done nothing. I watch and care for my 6-month-old grandson. He can eat and swallow better than I can, sucking on a bottle. I can't even suck on a straw anymore. I use a BiPAP at night and a non-invasive air ventilator because my chest muscles have weakened and it's affecting my breathing. Pulmonary tests show that my lung capacity has decreased 25% in a matter from July to March. Everything is being affected. I'm exhausted after taking a shower. I can't catch my breath to say a slurred full sentence. Will I continue to decline at the rate that at this rate? I have to ask myself, what's next? A tracheotomy? Should I? That's a question I know I will eventually have to answer. The life expectancy for ALS is 3 to 5 years, give or take. I'm coming up on 3 years. Are you doing the math? Keep counting. Do you see the picture that I'm painting? Speech, swallowing, breathing. My life has changed drastically since the diagnosis. This is not the way I plan to leave this earth. People often ask me how I'm feeling. How do you answer that? There's no coming back from this. There is no recovery period. You don't get better. You get worse. Throughout my life, I've always had a fear of drowning. Ironically, it won't be in a large body of water, but in my own fluids. Typically, pneumonia is the most common cause of death for people with ALS. I am on borrowed time. This disease is stronger than I am. I'm trying to beat it, but the odds are against me, and it's exhausting fighting. It's happening so fast. They say to think about, to do what you can do, not what you can't. Well, what I can do won't matter if I can't breathe. This disease is a death sentence, and it's very difficult to remain strong. I'm scared of what's to come. I'm still angry I got dealt this hand. I still cry for me. I've already lost so much, and I will still lose more. I have 3 sons. I have 1 grandson. I'm 58 years old, and I've been doesn't understand me anymore, and more recently those who I talk to regularly are now having difficulty understanding me. My diet consists of 5 ensures a day, and it's not fun to watch others eat. Sounds appetizing, right? I miss being a part of the conversation. I have the words on the tip of my tongue, yet I'm not able to project them. I feel like a ghost in the room. It hurts to see my husband playing with my grandson, knowing that he might not remember me, and as he grows up, I won't be there for him. My small purse has become too heavy, and all it has in it is a wallet and a phone. I can't take the caps off my bottles of water, I can't do my zippers, I can't do my buttons, and I can't turn my keys. Think about everything that your hands do for you on a daily basis, and then think about not being able to do that anymore. I drool, I have excessive mucus and phlegm that's difficult to swallow or even cough up. I have a suction machine and a cough assistance machine for that. What fun. I have a dry mouth at night, and it's painful enough to keep me from sleeping through the night. I have dry lips and dry skin because I can't drink water the way that I used to, and dehydration is definitely a cause of exhaustion. At any given time, I can start choking. The reason I can't talk is because my tongue muscles have atrophied. I can chew up and down, but not rotary. Do me a favor, and at some point, Google what your tongue does for you and understand all the abilities that I've lost. I can't do a tongue in a cheek, I can't pucker, I can't spit. Eventually I'll even lose the ability to smile and possibly blink. Every day it seems like there's something else that I can't do. Although no two ALS patients are the same, we share a lot of the same frustrations, and no one knows what each of us are feeling. We can't even describe it. If we did, would it be what dying feels like? I know that's brutal, but when there's 3 people from the support group that have died in the last 6 months, there's no tiptoeing around the subject. You know, sometimes I wish I had a different disease, one that gets noticed, one that I would have a chance to beat. I was happy for my friend whose doctor told her that her tumor had shrunk after chemo and radiation treatment, but I was sick with envy. I broke down in tears because I only wished that I could get news like that from my doctor. You know the show Monster in My Body? All people with ALS have one too. It's called a scavenger. I can feel it ravaging through my body every minute of every day. At night, I hear my body screaming for help as it's being attacked. All that I hope for is to squeak out a few more years. I'd love to see my son graduate from UCSB next year. I would like to know what grad school he chooses, who he marries. My middle son is working on his 2nd child. Will it be the first girl in our family? I'd like to see my oldest settle down, buy a house, and have a family of his own. I wanted to grow old with my husband and develop gray hairs. I was supposed to take care of him, not the opposite way around. Know this, the person standing here today is a shell of the person that I once was. I used to be loud. I had the gift of Irish gab. The person that was outgoing and energetic, outspoken and wasn't afraid of anything. Now I live and breathe in fear, and I am truly grateful for every day that I wake up. I plan on taking part in research studies. They have my blood, they will record the data, and I plan on donating my brain and spinal cord in the hopes that this will find the cause. No one deserves this death. I don't deserve this death. We have to do what we can to find a cure. We need to end this debilitating disease. All I ever wanted to do was grow up and be an old woman, and ALS has taken that away from me. Thank you for listening to my story.
JFK quoted, "Any man who may be asked in this century what he did to make his life worthwhile can respond with a good deal of pride and satisfaction, I served in the United States Navy. That goes for women too."
Thank you. My son, my first son, graduated from SDSU, is here. My husband, my number 2 son, and my grandson. Thank you for all your